Another quick fire game for Manchester United, this time Crystal Palace. Now, this has come at Manchester United a bit quick. We didn't realise that this match was going to take place at this moment in time, but with an FA Cup game coming up on the horizon, we had to fit this in before that game because we were supposed to be playing this when we were playing Leicester in the FA Cup. But it's all good because we're still in the FA Cup at this moment in time, and I want to stay in the FA Cup. So playing this game before then is good for Manchester United, and it could, fingers crossed, play into Manchester United's hands, because I think Crystal Palace are a bit unprepared for this game because they have, by the sounds of it, coming out from Roy Hodgson, they have a few injury concerns to deal with. But they're not going to go down. They're sitting mid-table, so to be honest, if he's moaning about it, who gives a fuck? Because other teams have got injury problems. Leicester have got injury problems. Liverpool have got injury problems. There's a lot of teams with injury problems. Just get the fuck on with it. We've got to get the fuck on with we've had key players out as well, and we've just got to get on with it. So we haven't got a lot of injuries, but we've got key players out. And this is more important to Manchester United than it is to Palace, because we've got to cement that place in second position, so then we can focus mainly on the cup competitions, whereas Palace are not going anywhere at all. So Palace are just seeing the season out, and we obviously do want to see the season out on a high, but for Manchester United, we've got to win this game. So we've got difficult games coming up on the horizon, and we want to just cement that place in second position, get as high clear of the chasing pack as possible, and then maybe we can afford to rotate the side a bit in the league rather than be rotating it in the Europa League when we've got a high scoring aggregate lead going into a second leg, because the games are getting harder in the Europa League and we're not going to be able to do that. So it would be better if we were able to rotate, like when Jose Mourinho won the Europa League. He was rotating the side and playing a number of fringe players in the league, which obviously meant we fell away, but this time it won't if we're cemented in second position. And then he concentrated mainly on the Europa League, and because we're in the FA Cup as well, I want to concentrate on them two cup competitions, because Manchester United, if we got second position and won the FA Cup or won the Europa League, for me that wouldn't be a bad season, considering we are still far away from winning the league. When we've got one or two injuries, I think we don't look great, and even with the two injuries, injured players in Pogba and Cavani coming back, we still might not be good enough to beat a number of sides, because we've still lost to the likes of Sheffield United and dropped points against West Brom and a lot of teams, even when some of these players were in the squad. So we've still got to improve the squad. We need 3 or 4 players still to challenge properly for the title. We didn't foresee Man City going on this 20-game winning streak in all competitions, which has meant that we've fallen so far adrift. No one foresee that, but obviously we're still a good few points, even in reality, behind Manchester City. Even if they haven't gone on that massive run, we'd still be 6-7 points behind them, and it's just not good enough. We've got to get closer, got to push that extra bit more. And the forward line was a bit toothless against Chelsea. Maybe it can be a bit better and be a bit more expansive in this game. Hopefully we will see some changes for the starting lineup for this game. Now at the back, I would expect it pretty much to be he's probably going to go for pretty much the same back four, and goalkeeper, obviously De Gea in goal, Luke Shaw at left back, Wan-Bissaka at right back. I would like to see Maguire and Bailey at the back, but he's probably going to go for Lindelof, but I would like to see Bailey there instead. Got another massive game coming up against Man City at the weekend, and I would prefer Manchester United not to get beaten in that game. If it just hinders Man City's title charge just a little bit, just enough so they prolong winning the Premier League, it would be good for me. And even if we could get a draw there, I would actually accept that. Just to stop that winning run that Man City are on, just anything to stop it would be great. So might have to mix it up a little bit in this game. There's not too many options in midfield, but McTominay did look a bit sluggish in that game at the weekend against Chelsea. He was rushed back for that game, so really he should come out, and Matty should probably come back in for this one. It'll be alongside Fred. Obviously in further in front, obviously Bruno Fernandes was poor in that game against Chelsea. A few wayward passes, not good enough from Bruno Fernandes. But can he come back strong in this game? You wouldn't bet against him coming back strong against Palace with a few players out. Not the best of teams. Although Manchester United did lose to this fucking opposition at the beginning of the season, which was an absolute shocker at the start of the season. So we will have to wait and see. But Bruno Fernandes, this could be his type of game to work his magic. We know that he wants to play every game, and I'm sure he will be in there. The forward line's going to be interesting for Manchester United. I think James was Manchester United's best attacking player in that game against Chelsea. Didn't really say much because Greenwood didn't do a lot at all in the game, didn't really get on the ball nowhere near enough. I'm not too sure what the fuck's happened to Greenwood this season. Hasn't been nowhere near good enough for Manchester United, I don't think. Yes, he is young, but you can only carry on saying that for so long before he has to start putting in some better performances for Manchester United, and definitely up in his goal tally, because this season his goal tally has been ridiculously low. One league goal is just not good enough for Manchester United from Mason Greenwood. Back in the day, Wayne Rooney got slaughtered when he only got 7, 8, 9, 10 goals in a league campaign, and I know, yes, he is young, but we can only keep saying that for so long. Next season he's going to be 20 years of age. He's already played nearly 100 games for Manchester United. He's got to start up in his goal tally, he really does. His performances have been just average, to be honest, of late. Not been terrible, but just average performances, and he's got to improve that. Rashford will play anyway, so it's probably going to be James, Rashford and Cavani if Cavani's fit. If he's not fit, then it will be obviously either Martial and Greenwood will probably be on the substitutes bench. But I'm hoping Cavani is back for this game, because we really do need him, because Martial has been so poor as well this season, and I just don't know what's happened to Martial and Greenwood in terms of their goals. One got 17 last year and one got 23. I mean, that's absolutely bullshit what they've got this season. One goal in the league from Greenwood and 4 in the league from Martial is just horrendous. It really is. And if Manchester United are to make the next step up, they've really got to improve from now until the end of the season. Really got to. If Manchester United want to win some silverware, really got to. I mean, James's output has been better lately. He's definitely, I think he's scored 5 goals in his last 10. But in the league, I think it's only 3 goals since August 2019, which is still abysmal from James. He's got to improve that as well. He has improved a bit lately, but got to carry on improving. I'm not too sure what the injury front is for Crystal Palace. I just heard that Roy Hodgson was moaning about their injuries. I think Wilfried Zaha is a doubt for this game. They'll probably have Jordan Ayew up front with Townsend and Benteke up front. That'll probably be their front 3. Now, Townsend did score against Manchester United before. Benteke has been bullshit in recent years, but he did score an absolute cracker once against Manchester United in a defeat that Liverpool suffered against Manchester United when Martial scored a cracker as well. So can't write him off completely, saying he's bullshit, and then he'll probably come up with a goal. So their forward line doesn't really put fear up me in terms of them creating chances and scoring goals if Wilfried Zaha isn't fit. But you just never know. This is Manchester United. We know what Manchester United are like. We could easily win this game 4-0, or we could easily draw this game 1-1. It is one of them games that Manchester United could easily fuck up. But the last 2 games for Manchester United have ended 0-0. So there isn't a lot of confidence, but we did beat a shit Newcastle team. Sometimes we are beating these shit teams comfortably, and then we're fucking drawing one. So you just do not know what you're going to get from Manchester United. But I'm hoping that Manchester United can swat these aside. But I'm going to go for Manchester United winning this game 2-1. I'm not overly confident that we're going to swat these aside. But if Cavani can play this game, then I'd be a bit more confident, because him up front would probably is more likely to get some goals than the other 3. Than the other 3 that we started in the game against Chelsea. Although it was a more difficult game against Chelsea, I think overall we were sort of content with a point in that game. I know that did anger a lot of people, and it was bullshit. I was pissed off myself that we seemed to fizzle out for a draw. But I mean, the onus was on Chelsea. They were the home side. They're going for the top 4. Manchester United are in the top 4, and it kept the distance between Chelsea. And if you look at it, we're not going to win the league now. So although it would have closed the gap again on Manchester City, and we don't want the gap to get bigger, just that 1 or 2% does drop when you're not challenging for the league, and it just does. It happens. It does. If there was a 3-point gap in the title race, Manchester United, the players might have just given that 1% extra, and it's just natural that it does happen. Unfortunately, it does happen, but it was away from home against Chelsea. Over the years, we have struggled to win at Chelsea. We have, so we've got to accept that it. Although after the game I was pissed off, but after I calmed down a bit, I did see reality that Manchester United are not good enough at this moment in time to be going to them places and turning them over each time. We're just not, and it just the reality is Manchester United are just not at the level of Man City yet. You look at their bench at the weekend against West Ham, and they've got a star-studded bench. We struggled Most people are moaning that Solskjaer didn't make a number of substitutions in that game and only one, but we don't really have the options on the bench to change it dramatically. Yes, I think he could have made the substitution a bit earlier and bring in maybe Martial and trying something else. Also, he could have brought maybe Donny van der Beek onto the pitch as well, maybe instead of McTominay or something. But you've got to understand that Donny van der Beek has been out the last couple of games. Maybe he didn't want to play him, I don't know. But that is a bit of a criticism that most people do have, that he didn't make more substitutions. But the options aren't really there of what they are on other teams' benches. So that is a bit of a problem. He has made substitutions in the past when Manchester United have had options. Against Southampton, we were 2-0 down. He took Greenwood off, brought Cavani on, and we turned the game around. Not many people gave him credit for that one, which was a bit of a bold move to take Greenwood off, to knock his confidence back in that game. Maybe it did, I don't know, but that wasn't something where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got praised for. But we didn't have a Cavani on the bench to bring on in the second half. We didn't have a Pogba on the bench to bring on. We had Diallo, who's a young guy, so we didn't have the options on the bench. If we had a star-studded bench, then I would be more critical of him for that. But hopefully Manchester United can get the job done in this game anyway and move forward, at least cement that second place. I think we are still moving in the right direction, but we do need some more signings to take us to that level. I'm still not sure on the midfield when we play against the better teams. McTominay and Fred probably isn't good enough. It probably gets you by against these smaller teams more often than not, but isn't good enough when you play the better team. So we've got to improve an area there and a couple of other positions, and we may look to be better challengers next season. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this game in the comment section below. Who do you see their danger man being if Wilfried Zaha is out injured? Let me know your thoughts. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, please do hit the share button. It will be greatly appreciated, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.